junk and leftover stuff, and we turn it into home decor that we sell. Whoop.
Sorry. It got away from me.
The camera's on crack today. That we sell or use in our home. And today we're going to be doing leftover offcuts of wood. If you guys don't know, we've started a woods line. It's called JRV Woods that we carry at JRVHome.com as well as JamiRayVintage.com. And we have a ton of retailers carrying our products now too. But whenever you are working with wood, inevitably there's going to be things that cut wrong. And I don't know if y'all have seen the price of wood lately, but we cannot waste anything. In fact, I think Mariah wanted to cry when she looked at her stack of wood.
She's like, I'm getting such a huge pile. It's probably, it's like several $100s worth of raw lumber that they've turned and done things with, and then you sit it over on the shelf and it was too green and it does this.
And she was like, I don't want to, like, you know, I don't know what to do. And I was like, don't worry, we're Jami Ray Vintage. Nothing goes to waste. So today for Waste Out Wednesday, we're going to be working with these products. We're actually thinking about boxing them up and selling the seconds to our retailers so they can make them over as well. So if you're a retailer, stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming because we are not wasting any wood around here.
Well, the wood has been really hard to get. Like, it's, you know, we did a launch and we're like, oh man, this is going to be great. And then we had a good wood source, and then it turned out to not be a good wood source. So we've been scrambling, trying to figure out how to get these out to you guys.
Super excited about this. And also, sorry we're late. I was loving on the sheep.
Well, they were buying out there, and they usually only do that if they're hungry or there's something going on out there. Like the other day, the neighbor's little dog that's like this big was out there barking at them. That's when they let you know that they're like, hey, this isn't normal.
They had water. What they wanted was love. So I gave Han a little bit of sheep snuggles.
And if you want to meet the sheep, at the end of yesterday's video, there's a few fun clips. But so we're going to show you, this came off the CNC machine. This cuts wrong. This cuts wrong. It's got some fuzzies on there. So it looks like this just slipped off. The machine moved it and it cut it weird. This one here
is MDF high too. All Woods products are up across the board. If you look for a piece of OSB sheeting, you will die.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not a good seat though. I need a different.
Okay. This guy's missing a foot. So you will see me in this video. I'm gonna go out back and just take the sander to these real quick and hopefully trim them down a little bit so that, you know, they'll just have shortened feet on a couple of these. I think that'll work out. But we're gonna do some fun stuff. They won't necessarily be cutting boards. We've got some decoupage paper out, some stencils, gonna do some salt washing. This one here, you can see. Can you
just take that do you have like a saw? You can just cut that real quick.
See the bottom did not cut out. It's special.
Some of this wood is just actually from our wood stuff too, like we got leftovers. All right, let's get going.
Okay, let's start.
You can take your stuff to the garage and get it cut for me real quick. I'm gonna glue. These pieces were supposed to be, I think, longer on the bottom.
Those are extras. It cuts out an extra every time.
Okay. This is the one that you fixed the program?
Yeah.
Okay, so these we just had extras. Now my question is, do we want one big fatty corbel? Or do we want a pair of like slim corbels, like they went on a diet?
A pair of
slims. Slim shading. All right. So the way we make our corbels thicker, and if you guys have a jigsaw, I shouldn't tell you this because we make these, but you can cut these out with a jigsaw or a bandsaw. Just don't lose any fingers.
Let's see. Well, there was something out here I was going to go get.
All right. Glue works amazing. This is Type Bond 2.
Okay, so I need this one and
do not be chintzy with the glue.
This
glue
one.
is cheap. One of the things we started to do is we started to laminate the wood so it doesn't split, and that has helped a ton.
So these you can see here. So these ones I think were hand cut ones that Harrington did, and that's why they're kind of funky.
Oh,
you
Robin
see
says fatty.
Small, big.
All right, I'll make it fatty. Ooh.
They're just a little abnormal and different. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm gonna go.
Robin wants me to do a fatty one. I'm gonna fix it. Don't you worry.
You got way too much glue on there, girl.
Hey, glue's cheap.
It is. Glue is still cheap.
Glue is still not super expensive. Okay, get this on here. We're gonna let this dry. while I work on something else. But I gotta make sure it's glued up right. You don't really have to clamp MDF, you just mush it together and it'll stay. Hear a police siren. We're not too far away from the police station, so sometimes we hear them. We're going to be using some paint products you're going to see here real quick, and if you're interested in buying any of those, we carry them at JamiRayVintage.com. Oh, it's going to have to be 2 corbels, guys, because look. One of these things is not like the other. Oh, I guess Zeb could just chop the top off. We'll just chop the top off once they dry. All right. As soon as Zeb gets back, I will throw this outside to dry. It doesn't take that long for it to set up. You can sand MDF too. They don't quite line up. That's a little much to sand, so we'll have to lop the top off of that one. All right, I'm gonna get started on this. I love all the chippy, cracky character. This doesn't bother me, but it's not like we could just send this to a customer like this and they would be okay with it. I don't know if they are or not. We do send some cracks and imperfections, but we're kind of particular about what goes out, so we have to be careful. We're gonna start with old and gray on this. We could also use the dark and decrepit patina. This has a built-in sealer. I like to do this before I get any paint going because I don't really want the raw wood showing. I want it to look aged. If you guys watched our video from last Friday, we used old and gray on some corbels and they turned out really cool and they sold. Those corbels were offcuts too. So you can sell seconds. I just feel like you got to make them over so people can see how awesome they are. And I don't mind it because it gives us the opportunity to really work on some of our paint finishes. We've been trying some fun new things, trying to replicate old chippy awesomeness. So we'll get this going here. I'll check comments in a minute. But yeah, if you guys haven't done so, check out JamiRayVintage.com and JRVHome.com, and you can order them like chippy white on the home website, or you can order unfinished corbels and candlesticks at JamiRayVintage.com. Or if you want to see if your local JRV retailer has them, you can check the retailer map. Not everybody's carrying the Woods products, so you always want to contact the retailer and see what they're carrying. We're working on updating the map to include what product lines they carry, but we haven't done so. Because we have a lot of different products.
So I wanted to make a pedestal out of that.
Oh, okay. Is that what we're doing? We're making like
out of this one. This
pedestal
one
situation?
here, the wood didn't necessarily split and chip yet, but it's probably going to. It's got a little bit of a weak spot right there. You can see where the darker spots are.
I don't think it's a problem for this application.
No, I'm gonna go out and sand it real quick before you do that.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm gonna stencil on the top of this one.
All right, what am I doing next?
So
did you cut the bottom of that one off?
Yeah, this just needs sanded. I'm gonna go do that really, really quickly.
You sand that one?
Oh, so you have...
I know, we're just gonna have to cut it on the top. Just let it dry.
So what I would do is I would put this one over here, or put both of these in the middle and bring one of those over to the side.
Yeah, no, they're already drying. Just glop off the tops. Don't touch it.
Okay, all right. It's hurting my eyes.
Why is it hurting
I'm gonna
your
go
eyes?
sand real fast, and then I'll be back for most of the rest of the show.
It's already gluing to the thing. Actually, I was gonna put this out in the front. Can you go put this out to dry in the sun?
Yes.
And then we could just chop the top off.
Here we have. We don't have sun back here.
Yeah,
yet.
we don't have some back there.
All right, hang on. I got a bunch of stuff I gotta go sand. I was gonna sand it before, but then I'm like, oh, then I can't show them the imperfections.
Yeah.
So,
All right, you go do that. My nose is running. I didn't, COVID didn't get me, but man, these allergies, they're gonna be the death of me. Are we not sanding that? I don't know where he's going. All right, I'm gonna old and gray this. You probably should put less old and gray on your brush, but I don't like reloading, so I just get as much on there as possible. Old and gray can be used like a stain, but it's like water-based, all natural. You can use it inside. Man, hold on just a second. Get a handy paper towel. Oh. Allergies. Everything is in bloom here in Utah. That'd be the death of me. So we've got this Olden Gray on here. So this is part of our Farmhouse 1917 corbels. I think these were just like miscuts. They didn't make the mark. I don't know what happened to them, but they were in my pile of, Zeb has like a bin of wood in there that I'm gonna make my way through. Oh, I was gonna tell you guys, tomorrow is the Stay at Home Shopping Network. We've been doing edited videos. They haven't done as well. I think people like to comment with us. So tomorrow we're going to swap the time out and we will go live at 10 a.m. for the Stay at Home Shopping Network. So the same time as this live was today. You can catch the replay if you missed the live video. And we'll go live and show you what to do. So maybe I'll get a bunch of these done for that. And pull comments. I've got a bunch of home decor, my personal stuff that I need to like de-stash. So I thought that'd be fun to do a live video. Thanks, Kai. Shelly says she has a JRV order out for delivery. Oh, and you guys are helping people get their quality of video going up. All right, just checking, making sure everybody's all right. I'm actually just gonna leave this stuff on the bottom here because we're gonna wind up sanding these anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, this is one of our new dresses. I wear it a lot. I like it to keep me cool. It also doesn't cut me in the middle. I'm not working on the farmhouse like I was before, so I've put on the COVID-19. And so I'm looking for anything stretchy while we go off sugar for a little bit just to reset our health. Zeb is gonna go off sugar cold turkey. I'm not good at that, so I'm gonna take the weekends off and do what I want. But we've been trying out all these yummy sugar-free treats. Zeb's good at just like, oh, I don't need anything. I personally have to have a few fakesies in case I have a weak moment. And this morning I had granola that I got at Costco. And it was really good, and it's a sugar-free granola. And we also found some yummy cookies from Costco that are good too. I'm not doing keto by any means. We're just cutting out added sugars. So I'm eating bread and stuff. But because of keto, there's a lot of great options out there that don't taste disgusting, that don't have sugar. So kudos to all the keto people helping me survive this situation. All right. I'm gonna grab a paper towel and wipe this back so it dries faster.
All right,
I was telling him about, we're going off sugar for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you know, I did it for a whole year and I lost like 35 pounds and felt really good.
But he was no fun.
And then I started building the house and got off of it and ate a lot of fast food and I'm back heavy again, so.
I took him to Vegas.
Time.
That's when he really got off sugar.
I know, I fell off the
wagon
at Vegas.
But I was like, listen, Linda.
Okay, so this one, I just need Olden Gray on this one, and I'm gonna go grab one more thing, and then we're gonna make these two become friends.
I tried Whole30. What was it can you not have, there was something you couldn't have on Whole30. Maybe it was like milk. I think it was milk. And
I think it was breads.
Well, you can't do breads either, but milk is like religious around here. A lot of people don't like to drink milk. I drink whole milk. We probably go through like 8 gallons a week here. Many times if you see me drinking out of like a copper cup or whatever, it's usually got milk in it. Milk or water. Today I've got, in my black water jug, I've got limes and raspberries in my water. Oh, Leslie said dairy, wheat, corn. Yeah, that's a no for me. I love me some dairy. I'm more like moderation, and I'm not one to be like, I'm never gonna have sugar again. I just want to reset so that I'm just not eating as much. It's hard when you're an adult and nobody says you can't have 4 desserts a day. As a kid, your mom's like, oh, you've already had too much sugar. You know, you need to cut back a little bit, but my mama don't tell me what to do, even though she lives here. My dad's diabetic, so it's actually good because we've been finding some things for him. This morning he had the granola that I got at Costco. Do you guys want to see that? I'll show it to you. It's good.
All right, I'm back.
Deb's going to be back doing this. I'm going to show you the granola.
I'm mostly back. I promise to try not to leave again. I probably can't keep that promise, but.
I am not paid to promote this, just so you know. This is the granola. It's keto nut granola blueberry cinnamon. It is delicious. I would eat this as a snack. Fills you right up. And then I also got these mini cookies.
Those are good. Those taste
These
just
are
like regular.
I would eat these cookies.
They are.
Anytime.
They do have a pretty high fat content.
Yeah, you only want to eat like 3 or 4 of them. But if you got to have a snack at night, little glass of whole milk and some of these cookies.
So I guess I don't go completely off of sugars. What I do is I don't eat anything with added sugars. You know, I try to limit like how much bread I eat, like white bread, things like that. Pasta, like if I'm eating those things, the carbs in those equal quite a few of your sugar count for the day. I try to keep my sugars under 30 grams on the day.
I will let you guys know though what we find that we like, because I hate it when I go to try something new and you spend a ton of money and it's gross.
So I don't want to throw all the keto people under the bus, and it's probably different for everybody's body type, but I have a friend who's a firefighter and he got up to 260 and he did keto real good for like a whole year. He got down to 200 pounds. He lost the weight great. It worked good. He went in for his checkup that's required by the fire department, and his cholesterol was like, you need to go to the hospital now, high. And he had lost 60 pounds. He was doing good there, but his cholesterol was just like off the chain.
Yeah, I think you gotta be kind of moderate.
I think depending on like your genealogy and your body type and things, like be careful with it. Like
Robin says, I read that grocery prices are gonna spike, probably because
wait for it.
Gas prices is gonna go up. So we actually we keep talking about it and we never do it. We keep food storage here at the house in case of emergency, or like last year when the stores were running out of food. We don't keep we're not preppers, okay? But we have a separate pantry in the basement. As do our neighbors. People are like, oh, are you gonna tell people about that? That people are gonna come storm you? I'm like,
our neighbors have.
I live in Utah.
Like pretty much everybody.
Nobody's impressed by my food storage. There's peeps that got like way more.
Okay, I'm just wiping off the excess so this dries quick. You can still catch that wood grain pretty good in here. You can see the split a little better why this was a second. Yeah, that chunk is at risk. So
we've been trying to work out at the Legacy Center. It's not like a gym.
Last week was tough. We only got a couple workouts in.
Yeah. Robin says our gas is at $2.90. I think Hart's was $3.20.
Yeah, our gas is typically mid-range as far as the national average goes. We're not like the highest, but we're definitely not the lowest here. That's the way it's been. When gas prices spiked about 4 or 5 years ago, and they were like $5 a gallon here.
Eliza can't eat a lot of dairy either, but she eats it in moderation, and she does. We have almond milk at the house. My mom likes it. My dad, we were out of milk the other day, and Dad was too lazy to make bacon and eggs. Right? He had water on his honey. Here's the thing: he was eating water on Honey Bunches of Oats. He's not supposed to have Honey Bunches of Oats, which is why I started buying that granola, because I'm trying to convert him. If he's going to eat cereal, for him to do that, because we're trying to regulate his blood sugar. But water on cereal, I was like, you gotta be some kind of desperate.
Your dad, he does weird things when he's hungry or his sugar's low and no one's there to make him food. He likes to try to get you to make food. We like to have him do it himself because it keeps him active, keeps him doing things, and he's still very capable of making his own food. But he really tries to get you to do it for him.
The struggle is real. You know, what's funny is I was eating my granola this morning and I was working on my phone, and Eliza comes in the kitchen, and I probably make him a hot breakfast, 2-3 times a week. Yeah. I'll make him a hot breakfast because it's real quick.
I don't know what you want to do with those.
And she's like, oh, you're already eating breakfast? And I was like, you wanted me to scramble you eggs, didn't you? And Eliza's like, yeah. And I'm like, scramble them yourself. The girl is 12, so she made her own jack eggs. Okay,
so this is what the sheep feet are supposed to look like. Now we have short sheep, which I actually feel like these are more true to our little baby doll sheep out there. They got short little legs.
I love that. All right, so are we gonna make that into a cutting board, or are we gonna do something else with it?
So this one also has a big crack down it. I think it needs decoupaged or stenciled or something. I don't know that it would hold up getting wet constantly as a cutting board.
Okay, let's do decoupage on it. What do we want to do on our sheet?
So we have a bunch of scraps there. Can we use a scrap?
Let's just use this one, not the pig.
Not the pig part. So this is half of the De La Ferme transfer. It basically looks like a grain sack.
Kai said let's hear it for short sheet.
Yeah, let's do. So we're going to use this section here. Do you want, here, I'll open this up.
I need to do...
do you want me to do it?
No, I need to do some salt wash. Would you grab me that white there?
Yes. And don't worry.
Kaylin, this is the new dress I was telling you about yesterday.
It's awesome.
Scoop it up
she's
because
worn
I
it
have
for
a
like
feeling that
everything.
it's gonna sell out. It has pockets and it's like a good length. And the only thing is it will snag if you brush your hair like vigorously on it with a like one of those brush with the picky things on it. I know because I had this dress and I was brushing my hair. I have quite the mane. And after I was done brushing, I looked down and there were all these snags. So don't brush your hair down onto the dress.
So don't tell Debbie, but we've got her paint out of a regular can because we needed one of these cans for last week's Waste Not Wednesday. We were short one, so we had to empty out the paint into the jar. So that's White Swan that she's using from DIY Paint.
Can you pass me the salt wash?
Yes. Do you need me to open it for you?
I actually emailed the city this morning and I was like, listen, I heard there's a gas shortage. Could you please get the laws changed so that way I can get my golf cart in commission? Because we bought it because it's legal to drive them in Utah, but each municipality has to make their own laws and we don't have any on them. So on that, can I borrow the what's that one called? Well-rounded? No, the Insider.
The Insider.
I do have to meet with the city. This is my first meeting for the zoning change of the church.
Yeah, we're doing that. Lots of stuff we got going on.
We always have lots of stuff going on. We got to figure out how we're gonna get the pool craned in. Then we got to call the crane guy after that.
They take it over the top of the house, which makes me super nervous. I hope they have amazing insurance.
Well, or they got to drive up on our grass, or they got to use our neighbor's driveway. So we got to find out how much that truck weighs, because I think I'd rather chance redoing the asphalt on the neighbor's driveway than ruining my grass. Kai says this dress would look good with leggings. It does. I actually have worn it with leggings. I went out for Ty's birthday in it.
Okay, so this wood is soaking, this raw wood is really, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing.
That's my toe.
Sorry. Okay, there you go. Can you guys see the sheep now? All right, it's soaking this liquid patina up pretty good. You know, Debbie in her video the other day said something pretty interesting that I hadn't even thought about, like why is liquid patina better than big top for decoupage? And the big top dries out a lot faster, so you have less amount of time to work with it. And so that I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That's part of why it's better. And it's a little thicker too.
All right, I'm making salt wash over here. Add a little salt wash, add a little White Swan. I'm getting there.
I could have probably traced this and cut it out perfectly, but I'm just gonna cut it. I just put it right on square, right over the top, and then I'll do like an organic cut with the brush.
I want to be able to wear this dress to church, so.
Are you trying not to get it dirty? You're gonna get an apron?
Yeah. Oh, guess what, guys? On tomorrow's live, we're gonna have aprons. So if you want to snag yourself, or Father's Day is coming up, these are great men's aprons. We've got, I think, 20 new ones. My gal just sent them from North Dakota, and we also got oven mitts. So those are coming. I was thinking the other day about like what we do and all the different people we buy from, and I was thinking about the gal that makes her apron. She's in North Dakota. Ty and Mariah make our woods products. Our face products are done by Kylie in Idaho with her husband and her daughter. Then our stencil maker is in Michigan and works out of the barn on her property. I was like, we have a lot of small businesses that
Our
are
DIY paint comes from New Mexico. Our the Sweet Pickens, all the milk paint products are made here in Utah.
They're made in Utah, yeah. They're locally made here by Sasha. It's just kind of fun thinking of all the different things. I mean, we don't have everything that we have made in the US. It's impossible for wholesale products to do that. But the things that we carry that we use the most of, I love it.
So I got it really wet around the edges. I'm just kind of taking my finger. I could use the brush as well.
Caitlin just bought the dress. I saw that order come through with your discount.
And I'm just ripping it here.
It's a good dress.
It might go over a little bit, but I'll sand it.
So I'm just stippling this on here. A lot of old corbels have like that chippy texture, and so a good base is salt wash. You may not see a ton of this white coming through, but do we have the heat gun out?
I don't think I have it out yet.
Oh, that's so cool. So I'm thinking over the top of that, when that dries, let's just do old and gray over the whole thing.
You want to...
Like over the...
Like the back and
everything. Yeah, let's just old and gray. It'll pull it all together.
Okay, let me show you guys. Just gotta straighten out a couple lines here real quick before it
Michelle
gets
is
dry.
late. She has tea, so she's happy. What kind of tea are you drinking, Michelle? Sweet tea, herbal tea?
All right, I like that a lot. Just the little corner of the stencil or the decoupage paper.
Well, we also got some plus size summer dresses in too at JRV Home, so.
You guys asked for it.
You asked for it, they're there. I know that some sizes have sold out, but check it out. And if we sell all the way out, I'll definitely order more because summer is just barely starting.
Yeah, we're still trying to break out of spring right now. It's almost mid-May, and it was 50 and 60 the last couple days.
It was a little chilly this morning. Zeb took my dad and my mom. My dad had eye surgery this morning. And then I drove Harrington to work. He stayed the night at our house because his truck's being worked on. And Odelia's Jeep is out of commission. We're waiting on a
Harrington goes to work so early. He leaves for work at like 5:30. I'm like, dude,
yeah.
I don't wake up at this time. Like, I've usually only been asleep about 4.5 hours by now.
Right? But it was kind of fun to have him home last night. Well, we told him, we're like, well, we don't have a car for you to borrow, but
yeah, the Jeep's in,
you
our
can stay
Jeep's
the
in the
night at our
shop.
house because he lives, his work is close to where we live and he does not live close to us. So I said, you can stay the night at the house, sleep in the boys' playroom. We'll pull a mattress down for you and then we'll drive you to work. So yesterday I picked him up after he dropped his car off, went to dinner with him and Jack. Well, Zeb was at his youth with the church, and then he stayed the night, and then I drove him to work at 5:40 this morning.
This is not picking the texture up very well. I'm gonna see if I can bring it closer so you guys can see. Oh, there you go. You can see that.
You use a special brush for decoupage? No, because our decoupage is water-based. So any brush we use, we just wash the liquid patina right out.
Our decoupage medium.
Oh, sorry, decoupage medium. And you can use big top, like Zeb said, it just dries faster. So, because the papers are nice and thin, almost like a napkin, only you don't have to pull apart and it's much bigger. If you've ever tried to pull apart napkins to get a single layer.
All right, I told you I wasn't gonna go, but I gotta go get a tape measure.
You gotta get a tape measure?
Yeah.
That's okay, I'm just gonna salt wash this situation. God, I think I'm just gonna do these 2 sets of corbels. I'm getting too many projects started here. It's already 10:30. Did you guys watch yesterday's video? If you haven't, check it out. It's fun. We take you guys thrifting with us. We show finishing, painting, everything from Saturday's thrift haul, and you get to meet the sheep. We did some fun techniques on these jars. I'm gonna do some more of those style jars. They're French confit pots is kind of my inspiration, but all the ones I'm seeing are like a mustard color with cream. So I thought I might try Queen Bee, which is the DIY's mustard equivalent, and see if I can get them to look even more like French confit pots. I've got a few pots we thrifted yesterday, so we'll have those. We'll either do that on Saturday's live or Monday's edited video.
I think you already mentioned it, but tomorrow is going to be live. We've been editing those videos. We decided we're just gonna go live every now and then on Thursdays.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know. We'll send out an email on Thursdays and let you know if we'll be live at 10 a.m. or it's gonna be an edited video at 4. So if you haven't signed up for our emails, make sure you go to jamirayvintage.com, sign up for our emails. You'll get a 10% off code if you haven't done so already. And jamirayvintage.com, if you spend over 35 bucks, you get free shipping, except for DIY products. DIY paint does not allow us to do free shipping, but anything else?
So I don't have the fancy gauge that allows me to just put this up to the circle. My brother has one, Ty got one, and it's awesome. I was like, oh, I need to go get one of those.
Your brother has all the cool stuff. I went over there.
Ty likes convenience. If there's a tool for it, he has it.
I went over there and Mariah was turning rolling pins and she had this face shield on and these cool ear protection. I was like, dang, you fancy.
Okay, I think I found center. So I just went, so it's 11 inches across. So I just went at 5.5 inch intervals around the edge until I had enough dots in the center. And what I'm doing here, this is a tiny little dowel screw, just 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch long dowel screw. It's pointed at both ends. Let me see if you guys, I've showed them before, but.
Okay, do not let your salt wash dry on your brushes. It is nearly impossible to get out because
There you go.
This is like rock solid, which is why it works great on super shiny projects because it dries rock solid. Soak it in soap and water. You can also try a fabric softener. I actually clean all my brushes. I shouldn't tell this because we sell brush soap, which is awesome, but I'm a less is more person, and I actually use our French bar soap that we use for everything, and that's how I clean my brushes.
Okay, so I'm just pressing this down in, got the vice grips, and now I've got it started. You could drill a little pilot hole, just drill it instead of 1/4 inch, drill it at 1/8 inch.
Oh, you want?
Be careful not to go through your wood.
You guys want text alerts? We do have text. We could text you guys too.
Yep.
Caitlin's got that. I'll have her drop the information on how to sign up for that. So tomorrow we'll text everybody that has signed up for text alerts and let them know that we're going to be live. And also we'll send out an email too for people that haven't watched this video. Okay, that's good there.
Okay, so I'm just screwing this in about halfway, and then the other part is going to go down on top of here. We're going to stencil the top of this here in a minute. It looks like we probably need to break that heat gun out and get that dry.
Yeah, I'm going to get some milk paint.
Okay.
I don't know what we got, so I got to look in mine.
Okay, now I've got a screw in the center there, and I'll screw this down on like that once we get it painted a little bit more. And I will wait to stencil it till that's all done and we get the final color on here.
Did you want me to add a little salt wash to that to make it match?
You can do whatever you want. I'm using this stencil.
I'll do it around the edge.
I'm using this stencil here on it because I thought that this crest in the middle would be really cool on the top of that.
Okay.
And this is ready. Do you need to go nip the top off of this?
Yeah. And
with MDF, if you're using wood glue, it doesn't take very long to dry up. It soaks it up.
I mean, it's not all the way dry, but it's dry enough that
No, yeah, it's like if I were to, I probably couldn't move this with my hands at this point.
Okay, I'm gonna start mixing up some milk paint. I'm just gonna use the salt wash container. I don't care if I get DIY and whatever mixed together. Because ain't nobody got time to get another container. Leslie says I'm in a cell phone dead zone. We had these people complaining about some cell phone towers that went in here. And this one lady piped in, he's like, look, the cell phone towers, I forgot to shut the door. The cell phone tower is on my grandma's property, and now she gets money every month for it, and she can go travel and do all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, thanks, Janet. She gave us a super chat for the new family members. Buy them a special treat. We will. We have to be careful with the treats. They can only have about a half a cup a day, so we measure it out for each of them. But we actually have to go get some more alfalfa today. They've gone through Let's see, we picked them up last Friday. They've gone through an entire bale of alfalfa since last Friday. So they need a little bit more than we thought that they would. All right, so I've got Bluebird and warm water, and I'm mixing it up here. I've got some salt wash in the bottom of here, some leftover paint. I don't care.
Well, so I was thinking about it with the sheep eating a lot. I'm like, you know what? They're basically on a salad diet. You got to eat so much salad to fill up. Like, I'm like, no wonder they're always eating all day. It takes them, they graze for like 7 hours a day.
Yeah, we don't send out a ton of text. We might start a little bit more, but we don't want to spam you guys.
Yeah. Oh,
At most, you might get 2 or 3
did you talk
a week
about
if
the
it was like a
super chat?
really crazy week. Yes, it was Janet. She gave us a super chat for the
Well,
sheep.
thank you.
Thanks, Janet. All right, see, Zeb just lopped the top off of there.
So I brought my saw so you could see. Just used my circular saw. You could use a jigsaw, probably even cut it off with a table saw or a miter saw, but this was the fastest, easiest route.
Where do we store alfalfa? We have a pallet on our RV pad on the side of the house. We don't have an RV. We have junk over there in a trailer, but and we just store it up on the pallet and then cover it. We could, if we put a loft space, like a shelf on their barn, we could store it in the sheep barn.
I could.
But that's not going
It
to
means I
happen for a
gotta
hot
lift it
minute.
up high.
Look at these guns. You got that?
I'm over, you know,
Where's
I
mine?
have helped at more than one summer bale hay all summer, and it's tough work. I basically followed
the
behind the
older gray?
baler and threw the bales up on a trailer. It's super,
Where's
super
the old
fun.
and gray?
Well, you had it over there.
Oh,
Did you move
over.
it? Okay, heat gun. It's coming next.
All right, this is my big fatty candlestick here. I'm just gonna old and gray for the base coat and let that dry for a little bit. Wonder Mom says you can spam me all you want. Don't give Caitlin that kind of power. No, Caitlin's really good at customer service. She likes good customer service, and that's why she makes the perfect customer service manager, because she knows what she expects out of it, but she also knows like when to be like, yeah, that's against policy. So she's really good.
Yeah. She's real good. She's a rule follower.
She's nice even when she's hungry. That's why she does it, because I responded to a few emails back in the day when I was hungry, and Caitlin's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take this over. I was like, that's probably a good idea. I mean, I'm mostly nice, but some days I'm not as nice as Jesus would want me to be. I do my best. So this is just MDF, but you can use old and gray on MDF too. I mean, it's not gonna look like wood, but it's just a base coat. You'll notice I'm not bothering to paint the bottom. Eventually, I'll put like a single coat of paint on the bottom just so it's finished, but I don't worry about doing the crazy finishes on everything because...
Well, two things are going to happen. We want to get some sort of finish because we don't know what the end user is going to do, but mostly they'll leave it standing up like this, almost like a bookend or for decor.
Or they're going to put
And
it
if
up.
they use it as a shelf, which it's totally capable of being, it's hidden up underneath the top of the shelf there, so, or an island or whatever you got going.
All right, that's gonna go over here and dry. These are good here, so I will do some milk paint on these. These are those ones I started earlier. This is the old and gray, just dry on the wood. So let's get that going with some Bluebird. Bluebird is the perfect blue-gray. It's not a baby blue, which I like.
So I'm just doing that same thing. This is 5 inches across. So I'm just kind of measuring several points here so that I get mostly like I said, they make a special thing where you can just get center real easy. But this is what I end up with, is like a square in the middle. Can you guys see that dark little square kind of
to be a square
shape there? Like I said, you could pre-drill this. You want to go about half the size of the dowel screw when you're pre-drilling. I'm just going to press this down in and twist it on. If it was a hardwood, I would pre-drill it. These are spruce, because a hardwood tends to split and crack if you don't pre-drill.
True that.
This is a little more forgiving.
Where's that heat gun? We gotta heat gun this. Milk paint is, unless you mix it up really thick, it has a tendency to drip, so be careful.
And now check it out. We've got a really cool, fun pedestal. We're gonna get that painted.
We're getting
And then
there.
I'm gonna stencil the top of it.
Will you heat gun this and I'll paint that and then I'll do the other one so you can stencil it? All right, this is yours. I'm gonna trade you.
It could be a chippy old bird bath base. This is, you know, put a little bowl on there. There you go. Whoa, look at that.
I need you to heat gun that.
Okay, I'll do it. And this milk paint's gonna crackle so crazy. You got it on here thick. It's gonna be good.
Oh, that's funny. I salt washed the top of this.
Yeah.
Did you mention that when you were over there?
No, but I noticed that you did that. She salt washed the top of the candlestick, and you can use them as like big pillars, candlestick pillars, but...
We used them for table legs on our coffee table.
Yeah, well, this is the shorter version.
Yeah.
The longer version, we did a video. Was it a Waste Not Wednesday too?
It was a Waste Not Wednesday. We got a lot of crap for that because the A's are expensive, but I'm like, listen, Linda, have you tried to buy wood? Like, you can totally use salvage for your legs, but we don't have any, so. And salvage around here costs like $1 million. You can't get like old porch posts for nothing around here. I know, I've tried. You'd be lucky to get a porch post, like one of the big turn ones, for under $100. And that's if you buy it from somebody that doesn't know what they've got.
Yep. So
sometimes it doesn't crack till you wet distress.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have to do the heat gun to get it to crackle. What you can do is like what Jamie was just saying. We were about to say the same thing at the same time. It's weird. The heat gun will force the crackle because what it does is it dries the paint out so fast that it can't lay flat and it splits it. But you can let it dry. It'll get crackly and chippy on its own a lot of times. And then if it's not as crackly as you want, you come back and wet distress it. And that usually makes it chip up real good.
But you wet distress, then heat gun.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is if you use like lacquer, that also like spray the lacquer before you do the milk paint and then paint the milk paint on before the lacquer dries. You can do that. We don't really like lacquer because it's a toxic smelling substance and we like to stay as natural as possible. But I have been known to use it when I needed extra crackle chippy. But the trick with, if you have a base paint of spray paint or lacquer, is it has to still be tacky feeling when you put that milk paint on and then heat gun it. Ooh, it gets good.
I got a chip bigger than we might want.
It's all right.
That's a big one. If you get a big chip, don't worry. Just milk paint, just a little bit more over the top, you'd be good.
Well, raw wood, you want to make sure you're helping it chip. If it's shiny, then it generally will chip on its own. All right, there's that situation.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do this one before I run out of Bluebird.
All right, that one's mostly dry and ready for you to sand or do whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah, make sure that if you're putting something in the wall that it's in the stud or you use an anchor. On our, if you're a channel member, check out yesterday's channel member video. We show you how we use French cleats. We were just decorating our family room live for our channel members. And we hung up a few things.
Jamie went through her whole stash of stuff that hasn't made the cut yet. And we were going through that, figuring out what we want to do in the family room. Because we didn't have anything on the walls yet, just a TV and a huge couch and a clock in the corner.
Yeah. So to get the link, it's in community if you're a channel member. So that means if you have a little bird by your name, you can go do that. But on Friday, we're going to be working in the family room some more. I picked up a buffet, so we're going to get that done. We're going to move the TV because it needs to go up a little higher, maybe frame that out. We've got a TV framed in our bedroom that I love. And so I'm planning on doing the same thing in the family room.
Oh, that's a busy video. That's a lot of work.
Well, you can do the TV and I will paint the buffet. I also need you to take that metal out. I think if we take the doors off, you can take them into the garage and get the
Yeah, I can probably figure it out.
So it has this like really ornate scrolly metal that's just not my jam. But it's also super heavy. Only Ty and Zeb were able to move it inside. So we can't really move the buffet.
We can scooch it around. We'll be able to get a drop cloth underneath it.
Yeah, but I will be doing it in person. Will you be able to cut the feet off in there without making too big of a mess?
I probably won't cut the feet off. I'll just raise the TV up.
You're going to have to raise it a whole lot to fit that. I think
about 6 inches.
I feel like the feet need to go. Because you got to frame it too. We'll talk about it off camera.
I probably should have cut them off out before we moved it in then.
Can you pass me
I
that?
didn't know you were married to the cutting the feet off.
That one.
Yep.
Oh, that does have a big chip. I think I'm just going to do another coat of milk paint.
I would try to chip it off first.
No.
All right.
Mush it on there. Then you get texture.
So you can still see the cracks in this, but a lot of times when you get an old corbel or an old architectural salvage piece, right here in the end,
the bottom, yeah. Oops, wrong one.
it already has a bunch of cracks on it.
I call this the architectural line. It really is salvage because it's seconds, so is it dry enough to just set down?
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
Sometimes if you don't get a ton of crackle in the first coat, it happens in the second one. Just never know. Milk paint is unpredictable. I feel like I say that a lot, and then people are like, but it didn't do what I wanted. I'm like, I told you.
Like, I wanted crackle and it didn't. Or I didn't want too much chipping and it all chipped off.
You have to force your will on it. How's that coming? So I'm going to go throw this outside in the sun, Zeb.
Okay.
So it can dry.
So some of the candlesticks will have chips and cracks in them. Not quite this big. These are like big splits, but it's really difficult as wood moves around the country to keep it from doing whatever it wants because humidity is different everywhere. So you might get some that has some slight imperfections, just maybe not quite this big.
All right. Let's see, what do I want to do to this one? I guess we'll start with some white on it.
Okay, I think this is, are you gonna sand this? Do you want to sand this before I stencil it, or do you want to stencil it and just have it be part of?
Maybe lightly sand it to get the big chips off. And then you can stencil it. That looks good. It makes me happy.
Hang on, I found a pocket of wetness.
It looks too good, like maybe I can't sell it.
Well, you know we can make more, right?
Yeah, I know. Are we gonna make more? Okay. Oops, just spilling paint on me. Good thing I got an apron on. So I'm just layering on some colors on here. I don't know what color I'm gonna do this. I think I moved that, almost fell off. All right, I'm gonna show you this up close. The crackle and chippy is yummy. Lots of good texture. Oh, thanks, Allie. Just put in a big order. Let's see.
Okay. So I'm just gonna sand the top because that's where I want to stencil. And I'm just using it to break up this loose stuff. I'll give you guys a close up here in a minute.
All right, I mean, while this dries, it still needs to dry some more, I think.
Yeah, I just heat gunned them enough to get them so that they were like not super wet. They're still a
let
little
that dry
tacky.
over there, and I'm gonna finish up these corbels, and then I'll go back to those. How about that? Oh,
It's on the
corbel
page.
down.
Where did the sheep go? It's camouflaged over here.
The sheep?
Did I
Sheep's out on the
decoupage?
front porch drying.
Okay, so you can see how that, oh, there you go. You can really see the crackle and chipping there. Now I'm going to stencil over that.
Can you pick that up? I gotta heat them out.
Oh, you got all kinds of stuff. You're gonna have some fun texture on that.
Well, that's me. I'm a fun texture kind of gal. All right, we'll let that dry the rest of the way. So we'll let that to the side.
Okay, if you're just joining, we're using this JRV Stencil. I think it's...
A French grain sack.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's Fournier or something or other. It's an oldie but a goodie. If you haven't checked it out in a while, we got a bunch of new stencils at JamiRayVintage.com. Our release just came out about a month ago. A lot of our retailers have them, so you can go to JRV Wholesale and see if there's a retail near you, and then double check and see what stencils they carry.
All right, so this is DIY in weathered wood. One of our favorite, it's like a brownish dark gray color when it dries. And it's one of our favorites to use for stencils.
Well, I said she got a side table for free.
What?
To try to get it to chip, and she says it was free, so no pressure. I'm always burning my phone case.
So, oh, you guys can't see. Up here in the corner, I'm offloading so that the brush doesn't have too much paint on it. You want a stencil dry.
If it's too juicy, it's gonna get underneath. Oh, hey, Nina, new channel member. Make sure, Nina, you go to community, because now you're gonna see extra things as a channel member.
There's a community tab on YouTube.
There's a community tab on YouTube, so that's where you'll go for that. And there should still be printables for last month up there. In the next week or two, we'll get printables up for this month. And that's all part of your channel membership. Sorry, the heat gun's kind of loud.
I think our regulars are used to that by now.
Yeah.
They're like, if they don't use the heat gun, is it really a Jami Ray Vintage video? It's just because we like to try to get the project mostly complete so you can see it before we go and we're not live anymore.
Okay. Kai says, love the French stencils. I do too. I do most of the stencil designing around here, and I just find things that I love and then recreate them. Okay, so this is just a damp rag, and I am wet distressing, and I'm gonna heat gun that side. I need to put this somewhere. There we go, it's not gonna fall out. And guys, we do get paint on our island. We get asked that a lot. It comes off, we just wash it off.
Wipes right off.
We used oil wax, so that kind of is what sealed down into the wood. Some of the cracky and chippy doesn't happen until we're no longer live, because as it dries naturally, then it cracks and chips some more.
So there's the stencil on that. I think I may add just the grains on the top and the 1962 down on the bottom.
I'm going to show you guys this up close here in a little bit so you can see some of the crackle. And then I'll work on another project and let it finish air drying. And then we'll sand it a little bit. So this one did not have the salt wash. So this is just straight up Bluebird milk paint over the top of Old and Gray. And you can totally seal it also with Old and Gray. So like, let's say you don't want to buy a ton of products. You could use Old and Gray, buy the Bluebird, do all the process I'm doing, sand it, and then put Old and Gray over the top and wipe it back. So here, can you guys see the chippy crackle coming in? We're getting there.
Do we have any 1962 peeps out there?
From 1962? Is that what 1962 peeps are?
I don't know. Were we born in 1962?
Graduated in 1962? I don't know.
Married in 1962?
Drive a 1962 Chevy. I don't know what a 1962
My parents
is.
got married in '73.
Oh. My parents got married. Oh gosh, I should know this. They had their 50th wedding anniversary when I was pregnant with Odelia. She was born in 2005. So 55. Is that right? My math good?
No.
Yeah. 2005 minus 50 is 1955.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. I was like, no, they've been married a lot longer than that now. Odelia's 15.
Yeah, well, that's 15 years.
I got a little twisted. I wasn't super straight. Maybe should have measured that out, but I'm going to distress it, and it makes all the things
Ooh,
good.
this one's getting good, Chippy. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys. Chippy, Chippy. Look at that. All right, so these are ready for the orbital. That one. Makes me so happy. Okay.
Tom was 1 in 1962. Doesn't remember it though.
Tom, what? You don't remember that?
Okay, so you see heat gun the top so that I can get a little distress going on this.
So to give you an idea of how much paint I've used, this was about half full. So half a pint to do these projects.
We're losing a little more paint now that it's a little drier. And some of that weathered wood is sitting down in the cracks. Here, blow that off with the heat gun.
Hold on. Oh, it's stuck on the here.
It's not really blowing it off.
It's all right. That's good.
I lost quite a bit of my stencil, but I love it.
All right, I think that needs a wet distress on the base.
Okay.
Do you wanna
I haven't
get this?
distressed on the base at all yet.
Here's this, and then it'll be ready for that.
You're taking up my space over here.
I'm taking.
Your projects are taking over.
I thought they were our projects. I need space when I create.
So we're thinking there's a kitchen in the church. We're like, you know, what if we just left the kitchen in there and made it like a fun studio where we film and do things at, and had like a big space over there to do our videos. So we're not always in our own kitchen making a mess. So we may do that, but we really like the kitchen vibe with the island and the back stuff in the background and a sink right there. And it's usually like pretty warm background.
We're usually in between a million other things, so we don't always have time. But the church is pretty close, so Zeb used to make me get there like 5,000 years early for our Saturday
5,000
lives.
years?
Mm-hmm. 5,000 years.
Where did you go with the little sander?
Then I felt like I was there all
Did I
Saturday
go with
night.
the sander somewhere?
The orbital?
No. I had that little
Oh,
sanding
it fell
pad.
down by your feet.
Oh. Whoa!
You ran into that. just throwing that out there before you throw me under the bus for whacking you with my.
It's fine. It was just my hat brim.
That's just your hat brim. All right, this one's painted. The bottom's done. Says that, yes, film at the meeting house. We'll hold craft church. We'll tell you all the sins that you should, sins of craft omission or something.
Sounds blasphemous.
I know. I hope that Heavenly Father and Jesus have a sense of humor. Otherwise, I'm in big trouble. You're like, I'm really sorry. I tried to be good. Zeb keeps me in line. Thank goodness, somebody has to.
I don't know about that.
You try to keep me in line? There's 438 people here.
All right.
Great. That's exciting. And I see
This
some
has
people
been a
are
fun way to start
shopping
Wednesday.
on Jami Ray Vintage Home and Jami Ray Vintage today. So jrvhome.com. If you go to Thrift Haul, there's a few things left from there. And then we also have our antique collection. Looks like people are buying some clothes. Thank you for supporting us and all of our employees and our makers. Means a lot. It makes me really happy when I can order stuff and support small business. I was talking to our apothecary who makes our skincare line, and she said they had a big deal fall through, and I was like, all right, let me know what I could do. And so we came up with an idea that I'm super excited about. You know how we do subscription boxes, where we are gonna have a DIY beauty product subscription box. I'm hoping we can get that up.
Put your own stuff together.
Yeah, you'll get
like
to
mix your stuff up.
And all the accoutrements will be there. That's probably gonna come out next week for purchase, but then what we're gonna do is rather than have it come out, because it's like an auto subscription, we're gonna do it a month prior to our other subscription boxes. So that way, if you've already signed up for like the craft box, you wouldn't have your craft box and then this box coming out on the same month. It would be like staggered a little bit, because you know, ain't nobody got millions of dollars for crafting. Well, maybe some people, maybe Martha Stewart. But anyways,
actually, I would wager that Martha does.
Martha does. Well, anyways, I don't. So we decided to do that. So I'll let you know when that happens. But it was so exciting because she's like, oh, thank you so much, because they had this huge deal fall through, and now they've got, you know, things that they need to do. Plus, we have sold so many beauty products. I reordered skincare. So that's exciting. A lot of our retailers are carrying the skincare line, and that's fun to have that going out.
Well, it's really cool because he's an executive chef and he lost his job when COVID happened. And she was like, hey, I need help. Let's, you know, they're like mad scientists with all these natural ingredients, mixing up beauty products. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun. Caitlin says she finds out so many things on this. Well, you would have known eventually, Caitlin, when I sent you the pictures to put on there. We always have so many things going on, it's hard to keep track. It actually legit.
It's hard to keep track of like
yesterday.
who we tell and who we don't tell, and
the deal went down
who
yesterday.
we talked to. Okay.
Amber says, I already see my mom looking out of the mirror at me. Oh, I totally look like my mom.
All right, so we got some good chippy. You can see the big cracks in there still. We probably actually could have filled those with salt wash if we really wanted to, or paper clay would have also been a good thing. I love filling cracks with paper clay these days. It's so easy. But there's that. This project's mostly done. We'll probably clear wax it and call it a day.
Do we want to clear wax it? I think that would be a good option. But I was thinking, what if we clear wax the top? And then on the bottom,
do we want to use hemp oil so that it could be food safe? Do we have hemp oil here? Yeah, we can hemp oil
that because it's milk paint. Well, I mean,
I use DIY paint too.
Yeah, we can't guarantee that it is.
It's all DIY paint is all natural. It's probably super safe for you as well, but we can't claim it.
Does this work on the front porch? Because I really want to show them what it looks like to run the orbital over this. Once you've done the salt wash.
Yeah, we can poke it right over here out the door.
Okay.
Where did you put the sheep outside?
Can you go grab the sheep out there? We'll finish painting that other corbel, and then we'll take them outside, and we'll orbital these to show you what that looks like. We've got our neighbors walking by with their cute little kids. That's the other reason I like to work at home. Although the church is in a neighborhood too, so that's really fun. And we know a lot of the people that live over there because it's not far.
Sorry, neighbors were walking by with their kiddo and they're like, we love your front door.
I was just telling them that
had
the
to chat at
them. You can't not chat when people have cute kids, which is why if you watch yesterday's video, I did not film loading it up because they had the cutest kids. They had 5 kids under 5.
What?
3 of them were there, and I was yakking at them while we were loading it up.
Okay, so this is the sheep dry. Now you can still see the paper it's 18-pound paper, and it's thin enough you can see some of that wood grain through the paper on this one.
I don't know what this means, but it says, Michelle says, I think we are starting to see how the sausage is made in this business. Are you saying we're giving away our business pro tips? Because, yep.
We always do. If you've watched the channel for any amount of time, we don't keep very many secrets.
Don't ask me where I get my grain sacks from.
Yeah, she keeps that one.
That's close to my heart.
Did you want to do old and gray over this? I'm worried.
Yeah.
It might get too dark.
No, it won't. Wipe it back right away.
Okay.
It's already got all that sealer over it, so I don't really think it'll really soak up except for around the edge, but it'll blend the edge with the middle. Yeah, Kai says 5 kids under 5, right? I was like, I have 5 kids, but they're spread out, ages 6 to 18.
Yeah.
Soon to be 7 to 19. It was funny last night after family prayer. Harrington goes to bed early because he gets up early. I was like, Harrington, go to bed. And he's like, ha ha. I was like, and turn in your phone, because we make all of our kids that are under 18 turn their phones in at night. He went right to sleep, but ironically, he came into my bedroom just like all the little ones and got his melatonin. He takes more melatonin than the little ones, but I was like, all right, mommy, I'll help you get to sleep.
All right. Flipping
Even
that
big
over.
kids need their moms. Michelle says the decoupage paper is awesome. Let me clean my phone off.
The decoupage paper is really cool. Like all the designs, we actually probably I would say it's about a month out because we've got some other irons in the fire right now, but we're gonna come out with 3 or 4 more new designs for the decoupage paper because we did a release, I think, was it back in February or January that we got that out? The decoupage paper.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's been a
We
couple
came out with
months.
so many products.
And we wanted 20 papers and we only got 15 designs out. So we're gonna get the other ones out that we wanted to do. Oh, I put this over on the chippy
Texture.
milk paint. I'll wipe it back here in just a second. I just gotta
We'll just wipe it
get a
off.
couple legs.
All right, do you need a dry paper towel?
That would be great.
I need to go through here's this. I need to go through our socks and
Find the mismatched
I shouldn't say
ones with
also
holes.
old underwear, we cut that up. And make a rag bag. Nothing is wasted around here. And then we can stop using paper towels because I'm pretty sure when I get to the next life, I'm gonna have to answer for all the paper towels. I tell my mom, she's a paper towel lover, and I'm like, Mom, like slow your roll.
She uses about a roll a day.
I gotta make over all this junk to save the earth to make up for the paper towel usage. I just tease her. My mom's cute. She's 81 and she ain't gonna stop. Won't stop.
Yeah. Is this my rag for this?
Christina said, I can barely keep up with my 3. You know what? It's funny. I think 3 was not, like people said that going to 3 was hard, but I was actually running a daycare when I had Eliza. So I legit didn't even notice one more kid. I nursed her and I would like nurse her and then just chase all the rest of the kids and then nurse on the other side. And I was super organized back in the day. And when everybody got their diaper changed at the same time, whether they needed it or not, because I couldn't remember who needed what when. So every like 2.5 hours, the timer would go off and they would line up and I had diapers and wipes and a bag for the diapers and I changed everybody's diapers. It was very organized. But 4, even though Redrick was an angel baby, 4 did me in. And 5, forget it. Like Jack goes to school with his shorts on backwards. It's fine.
I think at this point it's a point of pride for him. He thinks it's funny.
Yep. All right. So don't you think that looks good? Like
I do like the gray on it.
I feel like that really blends it. We can throw that outside to dry, and then let's take them outside and sand these. I have a little bit more paint though.
Is that dry enough?
What?
Oh, do you want to paint that one?
Yeah, I'm gonna paint that
got?
last one, and we need to sand that smooth.
So
time is it?
decoupage
It's
paper
11:13.
over the raw wood, and then we did a lot of things to this one. We got
Caitlin,
salt wash and.
If you need to go for school, sorry, Zeb, to interrupt you, but if you need to go
Yeah.
for school, Odelia can moderate. I know we're running late.
Yeah, Delia's off on Wednesdays, so.
I'm just gonna get this paint dry on here. Although I think
I
she
was
said,
listing all the things. So we did old and gray, salt wash, and then we painted it with bluebird and stenciled this.
let's see. Jen says she loves that Jack went to church with chicken poop on his suit. I don't know that there was like chunks of chicken poop, but
he was just kind of dusty.
he was in the chicken coop. But I dropped it off. We have a cleaners. I like to go to the local cleaners right around the corner. And I dropped it off. It was actually their week to get cleaned anyways. Like it's been since the beginning of the year. Like I haven't washed them since we got them.
So are you wanting to sand these and those, or just those ones?
All of them.
Okay, this one's still a little wet.
All right, we'll start with those. Take them out there.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get you set up with an extension cord while you paint that, and get some 220 on there on the sander, because I have 60 grit on there right now.
This paint's getting chunky at the bottom because it's where it's mixed with the salt wash, which is perfect for this one. So I like it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. So if you recall, this one has just straight up old and gray on MDF, and then we did some random white swipes, and I'm using up the last little bit of Bluebird in my cup here. So about a half a pint of Bluebird has done all of these projects. So if in like sample terms, you could probably do 1 to 2 samples would do, probably 2 samples of paint. So if you're buying milk paint on the website and you're going to do small items, it really depends on how heavy-handed you are and how picky you are about coverage. When I'm doing stuff like this, I don't worry about full coverage, because the more you put on, the more you got to take off. All right. I like to go sideways, especially with things like this, because there are like little bits and cracks where the MDF was like glued together. It just kind of fills them in. All right, there's this big fatty one that we made from leftovers. Doreen's on here. She had that assembly line down. Those babies slept on schedule too. Doreen knows, because when I was pregnant with Eliza, I got put on like modified bed rest. Drove me crazy. Anyways, she came to help me out for a few months, so that way we could get Eliza here safely, and she did. She was all good, and she got to watch the magic that was running a daycare out of your home. I was actually talking to Harrington about it last night. So I used to do mortgages, and I worked from home, but when I moved to Utah, they wanted me to work 4 days a week in the branch, and I wanted to be home with my kids. So after about a month of that, I said, forget it, but I couldn't figure out what I was gonna do to make a living. I was painting furniture, but not much at that point, maybe a piece or 2 a year to sell. And so I was like, Zeb, I'm gonna run a daycare. And he looked at me like, you never even babysat. In fact, when Harrington was little, guess who answered all my questions about babies? That guy, because he's the oldest of 6. I was like, I could do it, it'll be fine.
It was fine, it was really good.
I got 4 full-time babysitting kids, and those 4 kids actually stayed with me for 2.5 years. They never left. I had a few spots extra that rotated, but those 4 kids stayed with us, and it's kind of fun. Now they're all teenagers. Yeah,
they're all older, and it's fun to see where they're at.
It was crazy. I wouldn't do it again, but it was worth it to be home with my
All
babies.
right, we're 15 minutes over time. Let's go sand these and say bye.
Okay, hold on.
We enjoy these Wednesday videos a lot. They usually help us knock out projects that we otherwise would probably not get to, and keep stuff from the dump, because a lot of the stuff we're doing is stuff that wouldn't have made it.
All right, hold on. Zeb's grabbing the phone. We're not left yet. Oh, Amber's has to go back to work. Bye, Embers.
All right.
How do you do this modestly in a dress?
There you go. You're winning.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm not going to go farther than this, so this is as close as you get. Because I'm worried that the Wi-Fi will die out. You want to come grab these? All right, I'll show them those, and then you can grab these.
Back for this one. Hold on. So once you see these up close, you're going to see why we use the old and gray, because while I did get down to the natural wood in a few spots, It's a great undertone. Oh,
You're gonna have to come. I can't go past the tripod without knocking it over.
all right, now I'm gonna do these.
Let's see, can you guys even see? Is it too dark?
No, I think they can see it.
I'm gonna pull them back in. Come in when you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that mess we made. Elbow in the thing. I'll show you guys again now that we're in here. It's a little brighter. It's a little dim on the porch. The camera, I think, was trying to adjust that. Maybe they're the same. I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the video. This one didn't crackle as much, but we lost big chunks. Then I'll show you this one more time in case you're late. We did this similar ways. Here, I'll show you the piece that inspires all of this here. This is a piece of old architectural salvage that we keep around that's chunked and cracked, and it's got actual dirt on it, I think. You can see it's got its own dirt salt wash there. But several layers of paint, several places where it's broken and chipped off. And this sits in our house various places throughout the year, depending on where Jami wants it, and it always looks awesome.
So, sorry, I'm watching people slowly drive by up front. This is just the olden gray with the bluebird. This is the olden gray with the salt wash and the bluebird, and you can kind of see the olden gray peeking around the edges. You guys see that in there? And so probably what I will do is I will go ahead and wet distress a little bit more now that I've knocked down some of the paint.
I feel like with the addition of the salt wash, you can get good chippy paint. And you could also layer this like several other colors, kind of like that big baluster that I just showed you. That has probably 3-4 different colors on it. And you can get that effect, but the salt wash just really makes it stand out and look textured and old and like it's got 20 layers of paint and not like you just painted it a little bit ago.
Yeah, it really gives you that effect that we're always trying to go for, like the good, like actual age, not just like we used a sander. So I think these are turning out awesome. We're gonna get some great pictures of these too, because we'll put these up tomorrow before we go live, if you guys wanna buy them. But yeah, I think these turned out awesome. And then if you are a retailer, check the wholesale page maybe next week. We will get a bunch of odds and end offcuts. We'll package them up and do package deals.
We're gonna sell them in bundles.
We'll sell them in bundles at a discount. So if you want to buy some, you can. And these are gonna go up on the website. And I think we'll keep doing this. Maybe once a month. One of our Waste Not Wednesdays will be offcuts because...
Well, as soon as Ty gets caught up, our sweet retailers, they've been waiting patiently for their pre-orders. Let me tell you, Ty has just been working around the clock almost, Ty and Mariah, and they even have Mariah's dad up from Tucson helping them try to knock out some orders so they can get caught up, because we're like, hey, let's do another launch of some new products. And Ty's like, no, you're killing me already, I can't. So hopefully he gets caught up soon.
We're scaling it back, keeping it under control. Yes, Shari, so the subscription boxes that are gonna be the DIY bath and beauty products are made by my same apothecary that makes the products for my skincare line. So you can expect the same quality, the same ingredients. We keep everything grain, dairy, and soy free. So that will continue for that subscription box because she's gonna be the one putting them together. I'm just working on like kind of what I want and sense, and she makes them amazing. So stay tuned for that.
It's gonna be like a a bath salt slash
this
beauty products bar. Like you're gonna be able to get your scents and pick all that stuff out, and it should be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna come with a few different things in there, so we're super excited about that. Mariah says they still have 95 orders to fill. That's because a few more came in, so they are getting those out. You guys, it would help us out a ton if you would share this video. So if you click the little share button, you can share it on Twitter, you can share it on community if you have a YouTube page or email or Facebook. And if you'd give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so, subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining us in our kitchen. Go save all the wood. Do not let it go to waste.